Oh, would you look at that? We take a week off doing some other things and we come back to an update. Hello, everybody. This is Frogman. Welcome back to the Long Dark. And Tales from the Far Territory has been officially updated to the new system, which is now going to be, I guess, called Frontier Cooking. Missed it out completely, but hey, we can kind of take a look at some of this other stuff. I don't want to go into that point. So they finally put more cooking into the game, and they finally put a few more variants of some other things like some pistols and another bow variant and updated fishing. Plus, we finally get a frying pan, which unfortunately we don't get to bonk wolves on the nose with, and I hope they do implement that eventually. There's been a lot of things that they put in, and there's been a lot of things that they've broken. And, well, we're going to hope that our current little person is not messed up. So let's go see how she's doing. Alright, now as far as I remember, I did a little bit of work, and we got a few things sorted, set up, and we should be ready to make our way out of this zone. Of course, it's the middle of the night. Looks like I came over here and saved, because I probably didn't make any water, or whatever. So let's see, we've got a little bit of stuff. We needed a little bit of food. I'm just gonna go pop this guy down. I have done a small amount of experimenting with the new update, and I've done a little bit of looking around as far as just watching a few other people play the game. I was on vacation last week for a good period of time, so I was not able to jump into it when it dropped. So today's gonna be the first day we play this character. And I'm kind of at a question of whether or not I want to try to just span a little bit of time. Maybe we do a little bitty quick look around right here just to see if anything was put in. I mean, I don't think that the only place we would probably find anything is going to be over here in the hangar because there's a kitchen. Because they added a few things in that should be relatively interesting to our process. Now, we're not going to go back over and re-look at all of the things here. What we're going to do... if I do anything, is we may go try to hunt up a few of the new animals that they put in. They finally introduced the ptarmigans. And we may go do a little bit of that. So let's go over here. We're going to get the day started, get the thing over with, get the stuff done, and we're going to go from there. So I will see you guys once the sun is up. Of course, so we're going to end up with one of those before we leave. That's perfectly fine. Let's pick this up. Maybe the lights will kind of help us find a few things. So the first thing I'm going to be very, 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 very disappointed in is something that they did in here. They're going to be adding some more things. We're going to be able to do a few more things, but there is a problem that I am not absolutely happy with. It used to be that anything in here, you could right-click on it, which I'm currently doing, and allow you to pull something out of your inventory and place it on the ground. The only thing you can do it with right now is a few things in that inventory little spot right there. You can't do it with anything else. You used to be able to pull everything out of one of these dials to include food and place it on the ground from that thing. Can't do that anymore. Why is that a problem? Well, for some people, just being able to grab... We don't usually do this here, but once you get down around the bottom end of where your health starts to go red, way down here in the, the under 10%, you start to stagger and you start to walk around like a drunken fool. And the quickest, easiest way to stop that is to drop something in front of you and walk forward with it. So that means anything in here, if you're not paying attention, like I said, you used to be able to just grab anything. Didn't matter what it was for that, just like water bottles or whatever. That's gone. Now, the other thing I'm mad about is because if I wanted to place a whole bunch of water down, I usually right-click and put it down neatly on the ground. Now I have to go into the inventory and drop it from here, which is fine except for one thing. When you drop things from your inventory, they have a larger... I think I could probably do this, maybe. See if we can do that and see it happen. They have a large hitbox. Now, these guys aren't going to complain because they're the same thing, but when you drop water bottles or, like, lantern fuel, it tends to have a very large hitbox, which is hard to try to group nicely until you log out of the game and log back into it. So who knows? We'll see maybe what we'll do. Now, there's a few other, again, that's one of the biggest things I'm going to complain about right off the bat because it's very annoying. But let's see if they put anything in this kitchen. We are not going back over to any of the other locations in this zone right now. If nothing else, we will wait until we get back to Broken Railroad, see if anything shows up over there. But yeah, we're kind of trying to get the heck on, moving on, and we have to kind of hopefully not end up with anything broken while we're doing this. So I think we're good to go as far as everything else is ready here. I should have enough water. I should have enough food. Fortunately, we have a glimmer fog, which means I'm going to have to pass time to get the glimmer fog to go away because I want to map our way out of here. So I guess we can kind of talk about some of the other stuff very quickly. They've added a few more recipes, which was the whole point of this thing. We get a whole lot more stuff we can cook now. So let's see where that kind of stuff is hiding. So if we kick over here, we have a new menu called Cooking. Cooking is going to allow us to make broth and porridge, just what we have for right now. Broth, porridge, ptarmigan stew, rabbit stew, trout stew, venison stew, and that is all made with this pot right now. Then we end up looking at stuff that we can make with the skillet, which is going to be a lot of the pancakes, the bannocks, the peach pies, rabbit pies, venison pies, plus whatever comes with this. I don't know about you Canadians, and if you Canadians call oatmeal porridge, fine, that's whatever. In the United States, this is called oatmeal, so it's just oats and water, and I think, you know, for the most part, that's the way it works everywhere, but I don't know, so I'm not the expert on that kind of stuff. All right, we're gonna look at a few things here. I think we're gonna leave a fair amount of stuff behind. We're gonna leave that behind. We're gonna leave that behind. We're gonna leave that behind. I thought I had this down quite a ways before I got out of this game the last time I was here. Why do I keep all of these prepared acorns? I don't want these. We're going to be finding better food. Oh, something else we can look at as far as broken stuff. We'll get a perfectly messed up one. Let's just use, we'll make sure we have an extra one here. Hopefully it won't break. Alright, so that arrow should be at 40%. Nice. Leave him right there, and I want to show you guys something. They put the silly stacking problem back into the game, which is good for some of us with OCD because, you know, it drives us up the wall. This right here, 3 simple arrows, all at 73%. If I drop all of those, we now have 1,100% arrows. We will have 15 100% arrows. Same thing in here. Notice all these silly things we have, these matches. I drop those, and I drop those, and I leave the best ones in my inventory. So those 80% matches, pick them back up. They're all now 87%. There's another thing I can do that with too. Where is it? So I think that's all I'm going to worry about right now. Oh yes, pills. If you, long as you don't let anything ruin, and you drop the worst of the best, or to drop the worst of them first. And then pick them back up. You can put your bow away. They're all stacked, and they'll keep the highest level of whatever it is that you're putting into the system. So, yeah, they definitely broke a few things. And I do not know why I'm carrying all of these. We're leaving. I still don't understand why we're so heavy, but I guess I'll work on that as we go out. Why do I have 8 bandages? Oh my. Thank you. Now we've got a lot of coal, we've got a lot of stuff. I just like to get that number a little bit lower. Now the thing that we're probably going to try to do, I guess for the worst part is, I don't need this anymore. I need 2 arrows. Because until they fix that bug, this is a waste of my inventory. Now I have a feeling this is going to happen. They're going to be fixing some things fairly soon because they definitely broke a few things. And I don't know what we're going to do about it as far as the things that they broke. Let's put a bit of this away as well. But yeah, we've got some serious things to kind of take a look at, and I was kind of hoping that this would go away fairly quickly. How bad is it? I really want to map that spot, so I'm going to pass time, and we'll gather up some insomnia. If we have to gather up some insomnia, that's fine. I'm going to do a little bit more playing around and see what we can find. So that's one of the many things. I guess we can look at some more of the other things. They've added another few interesting things. We've been added fishing lures now that you can craft with some of the leftover parts. Fishing tackle, fishing tip-ups. This is cool. There's an interesting little thing going on. Like I said, they added in an interesting thing that come over here. We're now able to cut an ice hole in water as long as the water is deep enough, which means you can fish anywhere. This is amazing. And the reason why this is amazing is because you can automate fishing like you can automate rabbit catching. So if you have an area that has like we were up over here with this one little spot over here, with Justy's, it's possible that Justy's, that pond that's right in front of it, you can fish in it now. Or for that matter, unnamed pond. You can fish in unnamed pond in Mystery Lake. Why would you do that? Well, you've got cabins and structures and things all around that area. Anywhere else I can think of, that's just, that's amazing. That's really, really cool, because that's going to allow us to be able to somewhat possibly live in areas where you normally wouldn't be able to live. I think my question really is the Milton Basin, whether we can fish the creek, the river, that area. If we can fish there, that's an absolutely beautiful place to be able to do it, because you've got a moose, you've got a bunch of deer, you've got a wolf. You could turn that place into a lantern fuel factory. So lantern fuel is actually going to be easier to get now. There is some diminishing returns with the tip-ups, and from what I have heard, you are currently not encouraged to use the fishing huts or the lures that they put in for fear that they may crash your game. So don't use the new fishing right now. Supposedly the fishing in the fishing hut works, but if you use there's some really bad things going on as far as the tip-ups. If you leave them out and then go into a house, you might get soft locked in the house. So don't do that. And like I said, I'm just kind of reading a lot of the stuff that's been going on because I was gone for a week and I didn't get to see anything. So we're kind of having a little bit of a talk here. I'm going to pass time, get this stupid glimmer fog to go away. We need to leave. We were in plans to go somewhere. So yeah, a little bit of prattling. Let's get our butts out of here. I want to hopefully get back to someplace better than this right now. I won't even worry about the water. Alright, let's go. Actually, how heavy are we? Still trying to figure out why I'm so stinking heavy. It's probably because I've got 6 pounds of coal, and that 6 pounds of coal, I think we could probably leave 5 of that right here. That'll help a little bit. There we go. Alright, we're leaving. We're going to get out of here. I don't care what the weather does. I don't care how badly Astrid gets beat up. We don't need to stay here any longer because we need to start messing around with Signal Void. We need to go explore some bunkers. We need to get that story started. And I want to kind of play around with some of this other stuff that we've got going. So between here and the out, we'll do any kind of oddball looking that we might see. I'm very, very interested to find some of the ptarmigans, because if we can find some of the ptarmigans, we can gain 3 more degrees in here with some ptarmigans. Because they added a layer of insulation, improvised insulation, that uses cloth and ptarmigan feathers that does double, or more than double, I believe, than what the wool ear wrap will do. So there's a replacement, a direct replacement for the wool ear wrap. And at times, like I was testing with one of my other players, one of the other characters, just by replacing that wool ear wrap and having more or less the same kind of gear we have right now, except for she has thin wool sweaters. From like right where we are right now until right about there, she's warm in most of the zones, which means you can be outside all afternoon and not freeze. For an interloper, that's a big deal. And that one only has a wolf coat on. If you had a bear coat on, then you'd likely be warm from about right here, right in there until the end of the day, which is amazing for nomads like me that like to wander around the map. So let's see if we can get up here before this storm happens. We're leaving today. We're going to map one more location in this area, and then we're getting the heck out of here. There's another possibility. Like I said, I don't know whether or not they've added all of the new features to this zone. We may come back and check the cabins when we come back after we get a bunch of things done. But I would like to get a move on because we have a lot of exploring to do with this character. She has got a lot of things to do.
It's a goddamn freezing.
Soon it won't be. Get the hell out of this cold zone. I'm interested to see what kind of bugs we end up with this one. There we go, survey point. Sorry, darling, you're gonna have to freeze for a second. Let's pop the rest of this area open and boink. There we go. Did I get the cave over here? Now, there's another cave right down here. So like what we're gonna find when we come back in is that there's a cave like right in here, and when we come back in, we'll probably dive off the edge over here, or we may not. I don't know. We may have to. We've got a lot of stuff to do. Where I was talking about that area that you can dive off and come into this area, right down here in this little river is another cave that if you need to, you can do it. Sweet. Let's get out of here. So this, they give you this because, hey, there's this, for some odd reason, weird, you know, continuous path that heads this direction. Essentially what we're going to do is cut half of the travel out of getting out of the area. Got the stompies too. Great. Another bug. Something with climbing those things that you end up with the stompies. Can I get the stompies to go away? Nope. We're gonna have to deal with that. Yeah, we're gonna go this direction. There's several ways through this top section area here, but I do kind of want to at least map part of it. There's the road. All right, cool. Go see what's around the corner over here. There, I think we might have gotten rid of them. Yeah, I think that's generally what you do to try to get rid of them, is find another surface that you can walk over that might have a different respect to snow for whatever you came off of when you're climbing one of those things. So, I guess I'll take your crow feathers because eventually we're going to make a couple more arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice. We're gonna head down here. And run and jump over that. And that's the road, or the canyon where the road is in. Kinda half expecting to hear some birdies. Birdies?
Surrounded by snow and nothing to drink.
Yeah, we should have made some teas before we left. I'm sorry. No birds. Okay. Ptarmigans, when and if we ever find any, which we should find some probably fairly soon. Probably won't. I was kind of figuring they'd be here. Of any place, this would be a good place for them. Ptarmigans tend to like to be in out-of-way places, somewhat high up. they're not necessarily always in out-of-way places somewhat high up. Sometimes there's a little rabbit right here. I was gonna wonder, actually, can I? Not that I want to make one. Where is it? It's in here. Stable. Suitable ice. Suitable ice? This is not deep enough. Okay, that's nice to know. That's gonna be something we're gonna have to, for sure, science out, because late game Loper is all about finding a stable place that you can sit and just keep yourself fed and in certain things. But you kind of keep wandering this way. How bad are we? I would take another picture, but we'll probably end up having to come out of here eventually anyway. But yeah, we'll just kind of keep going. You just follow the trail out the door. Usually there's a rabbit up here somewhere, but I didn't get to see him today. Finally leave this windy, noisy area. So when you get to this area, you can drop down. That is the way out. That is the airfield. If you happen to be wandering through that in a fog, make a left once you jump down the hill. Oh, thank God. How cold is it now? Still very cold. But no more wind blowing in our ears. That's right. I don't have bow 5 with this one.
I need some water.
Sorry, bunny. We picked these? I forget. I don't think I did. We'll go ahead and pick them now. They actually have a use past just making coffee out of them. I have not tried to make the new coffee yet to see if anything has changed, but you can make flour out of them that you can now use to eat and cook various things. How are we? We'll play a little bit more. She'll have enough time to maybe recoup a little bit of health. I've not had a chance, so we're going to get to see. Let's pick sticks while we're here, I guess. If there's more food here, like if there's ptarmigans living in this zone, then it would make it a little bit more manageable for an interloper to stay for a few days, because they do give you a little bit of food. But that's like my next major big goal for us right now to explore this next section. This next update is I want at least 4 ptarmigans. Maybe 10 of them. If we can get a bunch of them, it'd be great, because we can get a massive upgrade on heat, both in our warmth, I should say, both in our character warmth and our sleeping warmth. So the best way to go looking for them is kind of wander into higher areas and listen for clucking. They're very hard to see until you're right on them. I would figure they're probably not here, but you never know with Hinterland. Sometimes they do things. Well, I guess. We have insomnia, we have a few problems. Let's go get in here and see if there's anything cool to play with in the train station. A lot of rabbits, so we'll cook that maybe. Let's stop this hypothermia a little bit. So we should have a bunch of repaired stuff. We can drink that. Alright, cool. Yeah, I left a bunch of stuff in here. Good. Those 2 fulls. Good. We have a little bit of food outside of that. And yeah, so let's, I wonder, can I map right here? Alright, cool. Alright, yep, blah, 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 blah. No food other than that. We have one moldy rabbit cooked, beautiful, and that's it. What is this? That's just that. Nice, nothing. Alright, I'm gonna get her ready to go. We'll cook this rabbit up, probably fix anything that needs to be fixed with this kind of stuff, and then we're gonna get the heck out of here in a hurry. So, I will see you guys when we're leaving. Alrighty then, let's try a little bit of the more fun stuff here. So, I don't think we have anything really bad. We'll pick that up. We'll take a few things. It kind of did another aurora, and we managed to... How long have I got left? I ate up an herbal tea, and she slept all night, so we managed to accumulate most of that health back. And by the time we get to the next section, we should be done with this silly thing called whatever it is, insomnia. So, I don't need any of this. I was gonna say I was gonna sit down and fix some of my stuff, but, no, we seem to be pretty good. Oh, yeah, I forget. We need to, let's see, we should have a full stack of this kind of thing here, so that's all 87%. So if I move this in there, okay, and I move this in there, move this in there, okay, nice. I'm going to leave, for the time being, 12 matches right here. And I guess I can take that since I have a spare now. We can make another one. I don't think we left anything of any major need in here. I'm going to bring 2 of these prepared with us because I cooked, I cooked them. We're going to need to go find a hammer so we can make some more interesting things with it. But let's get out of here and, well, I guess just kind of walk down the road. I don't know how much we're going to do with this, but I did kind of want to maybe check one little place over here. Like, if you go over there, there's the other exit for the, where the mine is going to be, and there's a kind of a high location over there with a couple of rabbits. I just wanted to kind of maybe see if we see any of them here, because it's still a ridiculously desolate area, and I don't want to be here any longer than I need to. I would really, really, really like to get that next layer of warmth started. It'd help us out a lot. Go fast. Even if I scare him, it's just something I need to know. I have a feeling we're probably going to be walking into a blizzard, or maybe it's just going to snow all day today.
I can't feel my feet.
You can hear them from a really long ways away, too, which is interesting. Just have to kind of listen. Might be one of those times when earphone players have a minor advantage in this game. Of course, I still think you can't play this game without a good headset, or at least a decent set of earphones, because I can't directionally tell where a wolf is with my speakers. I don't think they're out. If they are, let's get into the tunnel then and get our move on.
If at home, warm up soon.
Alright, well, fun is fun. I will see you guys at the end of this, unless something magical happens. Okay, looking at that, aside from the little nap we took in the middle of there, that took 10 minutes. We're back in the normal general lower bear, great bear, whatever you want to say. Wind is absolutely howling once again. We're gonna head for a few places, and then we need to collect up some parts so that we can get to the first well, the several things. I don't know whether we're going to go straight to do the first one in Milton first. Well, the first one. The first one's technically Forlorn Muskeg, but I don't know if we're going to do that one first or not. We're gonna get to a safe spot. Let's see if we can't find some birdies first. Get your right bow out. Get your left one. There may be something that makes me glad, because that means Coastal, we didn't raid Coastal, we didn't raid Thompson, so there might be some really interesting stuff for an interloper for cooking. We're able to cook a lot of the same stuff, but I think looking at what the whole process is, at least looking at some of the stuff that's available to be made, unless they can manage to make a thing like flour, or maybe the acorns respawn, late game you're not going to be using anything, any of it, none of it. Are my Wolfie boys here? No? Come on, let's just get inside. Before we completely starve to death. Have a bunch of just random junk laying around, right? H. Okay. Inside. Now, did leave one of these here. That's interesting. That one is different than... I don't know. I had a different noise when I was playing with that other pot in the other area, in the train station. It sounded kind of like I was picking up and putting down a battery. So, okay, sure footing, good to go. Everything should be fine in here. We did a whole lot of just random crafting, if I remember correctly. How good is that one compared to the one we... Oh, crap, I should have left that behind. Well, we're going to drop you because we don't need you. I don't think there was anything left to pop anyway. So we'll take that one along. Hammer. Yes, please. I need you real quick. Because I want to make... grounds times 2. Nice. Now, somewhere in this, acorn pancakes needs acorn grounds, maple syrup, and cooking oil. So if we find any maple syrup, or if we find any cooking oil, we can make those. But we need to find one of these frying pans first, which I kind of figure we'll probably find in one of the other locations. So let's see. I don't think we're going to find anything else left laying around. We do have a battery. I don't think I'm going to worry about it for right now. Let's, with what's left of today, get her up to the... Yeah, let's get her up to the... I wonder if I can get my arrow now. I think we figured out we couldn't, right? Alright, let's head up there, up to the hunting lodge. I'm just gonna drop you right there and see if we can't find anything, because again, I would like to find some birdies. They're probably gonna be up there. Fly away. You're making things hard. Don't see anything yet. I figure we're probably gonna have to walk that whole top level up there, and that's probably where they're gonna be if they're anywhere in this zone. But again, I would love... Man, they even broke that. Huh. Way to go with your textures, guys. Okay, well, let's get on the bridge. Get up to the lodge. I want to go see if there's a frying pan in the the lodge. Okay, I figured this would be a good spot for him. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do I spy? Do I spy? I do spy. I do spy new stuff. All right, new stuff. Cool. Burdock. I'm assuming they say you have to have a tool to dig it up, so I'm guessing we're digging it up with a knife or an axe or a hatchet. Probably. I don't know. Play with this in a minute.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
I'm not dropping it, honey. We got more food. Alright, cool. Get them poor rabbits. Not hanging around too long. I did pick this stuff, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, I hope we get a frying pan in here. That would be great. There's no birds unless they're over there. Oh, hush your mouth. Stupid dog. Alright. What did we leave? Reclaimed wood, a whole lot of, a bunch of stuff laying on the ground. Can't see a thing. I mean, I guess we can kind of see a thing, but light something so we can kind of see a little better here, because they might have hidden a few things in this area. So those should retroactively have been putting things back in the game. So cooking ingredients like that.
Stuff will come in handy.
Hey, frying pan, nice, and some cooking oil. All right, and what else? Oh, and our first special recipe. What do we get? Pie any meat eater would love lunchbox ready. All right, cool. Let's take it and see what we got. So Briarhouse pie, that will show up underneath probably the, there's skillet. So in order to do that, we need ptarmigan, rabbit, venison, cooking oil, water, old mill flour. So flour, that will give, wow. So more max condition, will lower our max stamina, it will give us fatigue, and it will probably lower cabin fever. Plus one pie is 2100 calories for whatever all of this stuff is going to do. So like it's a half a steak of ptarmigan, half a steak of rabbit, half a steak of venison, plus a little bit of cooking oil, plus a little bit of this stuff, plus all this kinds of fun stuff. As far as I know, you can use this stuff. Where is it? You can use, I need to drop this. We'll just leave this up here for right now. Not that I think I'll ever come back to get it, because these are such easy things to get when you start going and doing various things like beachcombing. So, but yeah, that's pretty good. That's actually not all that bad, aside from the stamina loss or whatever it would be. I don't think we're probably going to find much else here. Let's look around. Any place that has a kitchen is a place you want to kind of look. There we go. There's another one. New little storage container. I'm assuming these are supposed to be pantries, which might have a few root vegetables in them. Nice. And a potato. A couple of potatoes. All right, cool. Anything else that we need to find? I don't think so. We would have found everything already at this point anyway, but you never know. You might see something you didn't see the first time. Sometimes there'll be like little potatoes or stuff, like if there's one of those sitting in the, like one of these little, maybe there's one over here. If there's like a little plate or something, look in the plate on the counters or the tables. There might be something in them. So yeah. Again, a lot of this is going to be like, I would consider early to mid-game. Probably from your first day into about 150 days before you're probably going to stop using all this stuff. Just depends on how much they give you. So I might have, you know, whatever. There's no point leaving that lane here. We're going to go upstairs here in a second. Anyway, let's see. So we have 3 burdock. We have 3 carrots, 2 potatoes, a little bit of oil, and a frying pan, and that. I don't know how much we can make with all of that. Probably not a whole lot. Put this out before I quit wasting it. Shut it off. Extinguish, please. Thank you. Go. What can we make real quick? So that's going to require maple syrup, of which we ate, unfortunately. These are just basically like little pieces of bread. You know, fried bread is what this stuff is. And all it really is calories. So those are just calories. If you end up using, I mean, like for what it's worth, if you're broke and you need something or you need some food or whatever, sure, go ahead and make them. But I would for certain hang on to this flour for as long as you can and not waste it on anything other than what would be good. So like venison pie gives you max carry weight. Rabbit and ptarmigan pie give you max carry weight, but you need cooking oil and the flour plus the resultant animal. Peach pie gives you stamina, but it gives you a headache. It gives you stamina. It's like a cup of coffee. The rose hip pie gives you, well, not rose hip. This one, right there. Same thing again here. So it's another way of using up some of these rose hips. You don't have to mash them up. You just pick them and it makes something else. Pancakes, acorn pancakes, regular pancakes. It's just food. It's just basically food, although the acorns are definitely a lot better to do that. So that's an interesting thing with the little cheese that we found, I should say with the little cheese that we found with the acorns. When you make the acorns, you get to eat the acorn twice. That's cool. So it could give you a considerable amount of calories over a period of its lifetime. So that makes them very usable. That's a lot of calories for 4 acorns. So considering the fact that you're going to get whatever the other one was, plus all the other fun stuff. So then stews. I don't know if we're going to get to it, but there is a very, very silly glitch with the broth that if we get the chance to try to mess with it, we'll try to mess with it. I do believe this character is cooking 5. Yes, she's cooking 5. If we get to, I'll show you. I assume that they will probably patch out the problem with that thing fairly soon because it is totally broken. All right, let's prepare a few of those guys up and see if we can't do a little bit of cooking. I'm okay with wasting a little bit of time. Where are they? So burdock is technically in the in here in the medicine. So go ahead and just craft all of those up so they'll get a little bit lighter.
That guy who drank his own pee doesn't seem so crazy.
You are gonna be just fine, lady. We don't have any water anyway. We'll just drink all of what you got and we'll light a fire and make some more. What do we do with all that wood? So you can put this down for right now. Load a little bit of wood in that. And we'll at least make sure to make a little bit of water. So we don't have anything we need to make. Yeah, there's the noise. That's the sound of the battery dropping on the ground. Go ahead and cook some water. And this is where the problem becomes, because the frying pan is not in here. You have to select the cooking spot, hit place, click over to the thing. It takes twice as long. Put it down. One thing about the cooking pot or the frying pan, you can spin it. So if you're one of those kinds of people that doesn't like your handles hanging out, like, you know, where they can get stuck, you know, if you're kind of OCD like I am sometimes, that you can do that stuff. So let's see, do that again. Cook, and we'll just leave it for right now. Cooking skillet, cook. Put this out. For right now, I'm going to cook the potatoes because we don't have a way of using them. Now, some of these other materials that we're going to get, I don't think we have anything in here we can make other than prepared burdock, and prepared burdock is going to require a little bit of time. I don't think we have anything in here, so we could go get some rose hips. Why don't you make water? Real quick. Just want to kind of play around with this for a little bit. You gonna let me pick this? How many do we get? 8. Perfect. All I wanted. All right. So that makes double what a can will make as far as water, which is nice. So we can then kind of play around with this. So let's see about doing... I want to make one of these rose hip pies. We'll try one of those for a minute. Cook. So it takes 56 minutes time to cook or prepare, and we've got an hour and 32 minutes. I do like that they put that in there now. So if you pay attention, you can kind of see what goes on. So you don't accidentally boil things off. Cook. What can we make in here other than potatoes? I mean, if I go kill a rabbit, which we don't have a rabbit, I don't think we're going to get to be able to make a whole heck of a lot right now. Let's use these guys to do the burdock so that we can get that out of our inventory. Now, you can just eat those straight, but I would probably, I mean, actually, for that matter, if you're starving... Where is it? Hello? There. They're not in... There they are. Where were it? I just saw it. Okay. You can just eat these straight for 275 calories, or you can cook them into something that works kind of like reishi tea. So, I mean, at this point, we can kind of look at it, and I'll show you. If you cook... We got a new cup to play with, which is kind of neat. Where did they go? We get a purple cup that will do 125 calories that is a natural antibiotic. So it's the same kind of thing as a mushroom tea or reishi mushrooms, which I at this point I would almost probably just say to eat the things because they're more calories that way. But we can go ahead and cook one because, you know, why not? Cool. And those rose hip pies are about done. You go ahead, cook some potatoes. And that's going to take 8 minutes. We have a nice new little purple cup. Cute, I guess. I don't what else to do with it. Cook pies. Nice gourmet rose hip pies. So that recipe makes 3 of them. And these do degrade over time. So if you're going to cook a whole bunch of these, store them outside, so that way they can last a little bit longer. We're probably going to end up eating most of them here very shortly. Go ahead, cook the potato. Get those out of the way. And how much fire have I got left? 15 minutes. Can I finish that? No. Still can't finish it. And another cooked potato. Thank you very much. Pick this up. Pick that up. And I guess you can grab a torch so we can go upstairs since, you know, we have a lit fire here. Cool. You come with me. We'll drop you down up here. We're nice and heavy, and she should be able to sleep reasonably well and regain most of that damage. As far as... See, This is where I'm kind of on the fence with this stuff. This is very, and I mean very quickly degrading. Very, 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 very quickly degrading, and it will go down. The calorie content in it will go down very, very quickly. But if I were to eat one right now, of course, it would increase our stamina, kind of like a coffee will. It's kind of one of those things. What do you do with it? When do you do with it? I should be leaving it outside, and I probably will here in a minute, but we'll go ahead and kill both of those two potatoes because we don't have a way of using them right now. And for that matter, I might even do that with the 2 carrots that we have, possibly. But yeah, that's pretty much some of the basis of what's going on. You're going to be expected to carry various things around to local cooking areas. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff. Just looking at some of the things that exist in, like, say, this particular thing, excuse me, just by looking at this particular thing here, this can do a lot of things. You can cook the, like potatoes, you can cook stuff in it like that. But the frying pan, once you run out of all of the doughs that are capable of being utilized, it's pretty much 2 cans. It's pretty much this, what you can cook with water with 2 cans, 2 of these, for the weight of a pot. So, like I said, once you're past mid-game and if you're an interloper, you're mid-game, you've seen all the areas, you've picked up all the stuff, you've utilized all of the things that you can possibly utilize to be able to cook in this thing, you're going to put it down and never carry it again. Unlike this one. Until you, and a lot of these things in here as well, so like the broth, once you run out of salt, this is useless to you. Once you run out of the oats, you're not going to use this again. So like the broth, you can make a whole pile of broth, and the thing about broth, you can make all kinds of neat little deals that'll make a whole bunch of stuff like this. Again, once you run out of this, I don't know, once you run out of all the stuff that you're going to be using or needing, so like the basic small ingredients, you're done with it. So it's a totally early to mid-game for an interloper. Even for that matter, stalker, because it's like, I don't understand what, I mean, I get it, I think it's cool, but there's so much food in the world on every level of difficulty lower than interloper that by the time you get to where you care about this stuff, it's probably all going to be rotted. So you'd have to start early on it, and then trade off between whether or not you're going to cook or whether you're going to just eat what you find. I'm not complaining about having extra recipes, but I'm not quite so certain it's useful. I guess we can have one of those pies now that they've degraded this far. That'll give us a headache, and should have increased our stamina, clear up. So headache, whoop-de-doo, an hour. Headache from eating a sweet dish. Whatever, I guess. It's a trade-off that you're expected to make for various things. The stuff is heavy. All of it is heavy. And now we have a nice little headache haze that is annoying as heck. So I think what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to call it right there. We're going to probably just kind of put some of this stuff down. I mean, I don't know how much I'm going to carry around. The carrots, you can eat them for 175 calories. Or when you find one of these special recipes, you will end up with, I think it's going to be a stew or something. There's another thing that goes in here that you'll be able to use it for, that you can then kind of just do whatever you need to do with stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, like, I don't know. We'll have to keep playing, but I think for now we're going to call it. Hopefully next episode we'll be able to go find us a couple of little birdies and make us a couple of nice little pieces of clothing, or at least some more gear, and then we're going to continue on with Signal Void, and we'll just kind of cook as we find the ability to cook. So I'll probably end up leaving this stuff behind here in the barn over here probably. I don't know, but until then, I will see y'all later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.